What's up, guys? It's been a while since I made a video in front of the camera. Tonight's had a really long week, so a little bit of wine, you know, and then maybe a chaser of some refreshing Miller Lite. Just kind of a mixture of alcohol because, you know. So I want to talk to you guys. I started in the trade, my only trade, apartment maintenance, 5 years ago. And when I started, I had Ryobi cordless tools. I love Ryobi because of the huge lineup they have, and they've always worked for me. And even in that field, they work for me. I haven't had any of them break. I haven't had batteries die since the lithium ion came about. When I first bought my Ryobi kit, I had the NiCad batteries. When those died, that kit kind of sat for like 2 years before I knew lithium ion was out. I was just using corded tools around the house. So anyways, I was using Ryobi, and then, I started in there, and I knew I was going to stick with Ryobi, but I like cordless tools, and I wanted to upgrade, and I don't know why, but everyone, if you're making the money, you can upgrade. If you're using tools to make yourself money, you should feel fine to upgrade if you can. And I knew a lot of people were using DeWalt. I knew a lot of people were using Milwaukee. And I was looking at those brands. But I mean, the price on them at that time, 5 years ago, I mean, they weren't going on sale. They were pretty expensive. Same with the Makitas. I like Makita a lot. I think it's a great brand. But so, like, the thing I love with my channel is I love cordless tools. I really do. And I had a tough learning process because I didn't grow up with this stuff in the house, I think the cordless tool drill we had was like a 9.4 volt Ryobi. And we had mostly corded stuff if we ever used it. But I always like building and stuff with my hands, and when you're young, a hammer and nail does a lot. If you got some wood, or you go down the woods and make a fort, find some lumber. If you go searching through the woods, you can find a good bit of stuff. But I love cordless tools. So I know there's some people that make comments that have a lot of drills and stuff. I promise you, they all find good homes. And I buy what I want to test. That's plain and simple. I'm not paid for, and I have a different view on tools, cordless stuff. I'm willing to try the Amazon stuff, and that's why I do it. And I can, I don't go nuts buying them, but every once in a while I'll buy a few to test out. Getting into the Hercules line up here just to try out, and I like the drill driver, or the compact screwdriver, but the chuck on that, I'm still having issues with it. It's just like, it doesn't pull out far enough. You gotta play with it, and then it finally pops out, and then you can pop the bit in. Anyways, so Ryobi, I wanted to upgrade, and I was looking at Milwaukee and DeWalt and Makita, and the prices were just more than I wanted to pay for at that time. So I jumped into Rigid, and I will say this: Rigid makes great cordless tools. There is nothing wrong with them. I did my research on them. I like the warranty. I know that warranty is 50-50 on people, but yeah, I didn't have any issues. But I know a lot of people love Rigid. They use it every day. It's not a bad tool. It's great. They are wonderful tools. But when you make the jump from Ryobi to rigid, and I'll show you exactly what I jumped into here. I will say, I mean, well, no, the drill's not, it's not that much smaller than a Ryobi. I don't have a Ryobi near me, but it's a great drill. There's nothing wrong with it. 1/2 inch. I think the Jacobs chuck, it's not metal, it's plastic, but that doesn't bother me. And this thing's got power. Like it sounds good. Brush motor sounds really good. I mean, it's torquey. It's everything you want from a tool. The LED lights, I love the feature where you can click that thing. It casts the light out and stuff. And when I say I had the whole set, I had the Stealth Force, I had the 7 1/4 miter saw, I had the SDS hammer drill, I had everything. I was fortunate enough that I was able to sell it to another guy I worked with that already was in the rigid lineup. So I made a little, well, I lost money, but I didn't lose a lot. He loves the tools, and they're great tools. But making that jump from Ryobi to rigid, and I understand it's TTI. I don't know what I was expecting. I guess the fit and finish is definitely a little better than Ryobi. The other thing I got was that I still have, because he already had a few of these, but the 3-speed, this is the brushed one. I gave him the Stealth because, you know, that Stealth Force was awesome. And same with the hammer drill with the LED ring. That thing's sweet. This thing, 3-speed, I mean, it's got balls. Their batteries are great. I did think, and I know Milwaukee has the same, I like Ryobi batteries. I like the pull down, just stick them up in there, you know, oops, hammer them in, whatever. I've never had an issue with them. I'm having some issues with some of my 12-volt Milwaukees, and I noticed the 18-volt Milwaukees are a little loose in the hips, but I'm rigid. You know, not a lot of play in that battery. At least these are pretty beefy, you know. I mean, the battery's well protected. That's what they do. They protect it from a fall. Nothing's gonna break, but this thing, it's definitely more compact than most Ryobis, but it's still thick, you know, like it's just thick. And I'll get to my next point here. Rigid was a wonderful lineup. Definitely a professional lineup. I think more so than Ryobi. I can use Ryobi professionally, and I still do. I have a lot of things. I have the cordless SDS hammer drill, got the heat gun, a couple of circ saws, like roto zip tools, and a lot of things. And I had the 12-volt rigids also, and the impact drill were pretty nice. The oscillating tool was awesome. One of the best oscillating tools I ever had. Had a very nice, easy, no tools change on it, and just the batteries, they lasted very good. You know, the 18-volt rigid oscillating tool, for me, in what I do, it couldn't cut it. Like, it would cut out after 5 minutes of use. Even the Work Pro oscillating tool I tried out, and I used that thing at work for 2 years, the Work Pro one. And it did break a few times, but it never cut out on that 1.5 amp hour battery, where the rigid, I could stick a 6 amp or 9 amp hour battery on that thing, and it would just, no matter what, just overheated. But rigid is a great lineup. What I'm getting at, though, is right off the bat, I wish I would have spent the little extra money to jump into the Milwaukee. I've been very happy with the Milwaukee. This is just for at home. This is the old brushed impact. I got this and the drill on a deal for $150, I think, at Home Depot. Size wise, I mean, these are pretty close. I think the rigid a little bit longer, but I mean, it's not so much the 18-volt stuff. I mean, even that, the rigid sounds really good. Milwaukee just sounds and operates a little bit better, but the 12 volts with Milwaukee and just Milwaukee's lineup, me using Milwaukee and Ryobi full time as my lineups, I mean, the stuff has been great. This Surge, M12 Surge, I was having a bit of issues with it at first, but it seems to have come around. I don't know what happened, but the first time I used it, I was putting in cabinets, and I was like, this would be perfect for that. And when you put in cabinets, you know, you not only screw them to the wall, but you connect them to each other. I drilled pilot holes and sank a 3-inch GRK, the thin ones, screws, and even with the pilot hole, I put 2 screws in that struggled to do it, and it was very warm. So I was very hesitant about the future of that tool, but it's been fine ever since. So could have been a fluke, I don't know. So what I'm getting at is that was my hard lesson. I really love the rigid. If I were starting out and I was thinking between rigid and Ryobi, I'd probably still go Ryobi only because of how big of a lineup they have. Like, rigid just keeps coming out with a new impact and new drill and some multi-monster beast every year, and it's like, you know, I don't know why they won't extend the lineup, because I wish they would work on the 12 volts. You know, I think Ryobi definitely should not step into 12 volts. I would like to see them too, but I think rigid, but then you're competing with Milwaukee, so I don't know. I don't know. I think rigid is a great lineup. It all depends on what you want to do. Like a general contractor could probably roll with rigid. The 7 1/4 sliding miter saw was awesome. Very much like the Cobalt, and 1 battery, 18 volts, ran all day. But you know, another thing too is like rigid has just a 2-gang charger. It has 2 outlets in the front, so you can run 2. But you know, like Ryobi has a 6-gang charger. Milwaukee has 6-gang charger. I have a 4-gang in my truck, hooked up to a power converter, and I put my 12 volts on there, and it's great for in the truck because like if I'm around and out and about, I can throw batteries on while I'm driving, and it charges them. Same with the Milwaukee lights and stuff. So end of the day, I mean, the hard thing is you can't test these tools in the store. You can feel them, grip them, do whatever, but you can't drive a screw. So I'm letting you know my personal experience with the cordless tools, and just kind of what I went through getting into them. So if you're looking at great lineups, I mean, depending on what you do, if you're a tradesperson, I would say go Makita, Milwaukee, DeWalt. Me personally, I have used DeWalt also. I had a brushless impact and drill, and the drill felt crummy, and the impact wasn't that powerful. They're great tools. I know they're used professionally, top of the line, but hey, they're not for me. Anyways, guys, that's enough for this video. I appreciate you guys all watching, and if you like the content, please subscribe, comment, like, share, or don't do any of that and just watch the next one. Catch you all next time.